Good evening. My name is Jim McCartney. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Cold. I'm glad that people are showing up because it's warming up the building and it's actually starting to feel pretty good. I'm the post office review coordinator for the Northern New England District, which includes Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. With me tonight is Randy Mishu and Lee St. Pierre. Lee St. Pierre Tribune.
Yes,
I got
St.
it.
Pierre is fine.
Randy is the manager of the post office operations for the 042, 043, 045. 049. And Lee is the postmaster of Auburn. So we've asked her to be here tonight also, since Auburn was identified as a possible administrative office in the event that the office, the Danville office, was to close. What I want to do is I want to discuss what the study has involved as it's moved forward, and what would happen if it continued to the end, including some of the political things that are going on around us right now in the post office. And after that, I'll open it up for your comments and questions, and hopefully we can answer them. I'll front right away. Some answers that I may give you may not like. I understand that. Don't prevent yourself. Don't let that stop you from asking the question. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm a postmaster. This is my normal job, so I'm used to having to interact and sometimes having to give answers that somebody may not like, but it's best to tell you the truth instead of a lie and get caught in it later. The office right now, Danville, it began as a study. Initially, it was identified by the district office, so it was district initiated back in March of 2011. Prior to us getting the entire study up and running, there came along headquarters. The Postal Service came out with a retail access optimization initiative, and basically that was the 3,700 offices throughout the country that they asked us to look at for review, and Danville was also on that list. So that was back in August. From that point, once the district manager signs a authority to study, we began gathering data on the office. We looked at transportation, we looked at the delivery pattern within the community, we looked at the finances of the office, and we began to create what's called an official record. That record is used throughout the process to make the decisions. It's my job as the post office review coordinator to take all that information in and build the record. So once we built the record and we went through the initial phase called the feasibility stage, I created the record book up to that point, and it's handed off to the senior management at the post office here at the district. They make a decision whether they want to continue or to stop. If they wanted to continue, they must have a proposal, an idea of what they would like to see. That proposal is then passed to the district manager for approval. She can either approve or stop. If she decides to proceed, then it becomes the stage we're at now, where there's a proposal that is posted in the office. It's also posted at the affected office, the administrative office in Auburn, and at the closest office, which is New Gloucester. During that posting is by the office 60 days. During that 60 days, we'll take comments on that proposal, and we distributed a questionnaire for more information. It's really looking at, it's a strange questionnaire. I get a lot of comments on it, but it's some of the questions are legal questions that our law department needs to know moving forward. Some things you may see on there funny is do we use it as a bus stop? I can't remember one of the other ones, but they're legitimate questions that the Postal Service has to answer to for our law department. We gather those, we respond to all of them. So everyone that sent one in, there will be a response coming back as we gather them, tabulate them, and move forward. And then we also have the community meeting that's going to be recorded into the official record. What's recorded into the official record from the meeting are comments and concerns regarding the proposal. Through experience, I know there's a lot that the meeting can get it starts to spread out a little bit. We really can't speak about really in depth of what Congress and our headquarters are doing, and the rules and regulations and the laws they're trying to pass. It's just my duty as the review coordinator to move forward with the study and to gather all the information needed for the district management to make a decision. So once the 60 days is completed, we will then take all the comments, concerns, the correspondence that's come in and gone out, and we'll update the official record. That will then once again go to the district senior management for a decision. They'll decide whether they want to continue or stop, or if they would like to go in another direction, which may require another posting for 60 days. If they decide to continue as the proposal is, it will then go to the district manager. She must now make a decision whether to stop or to send it to headquarters for a final determination. Everything that we do as a district is only a proposal. The headquarters headquarters vice president is the only one who can make a decision to close or consolidate operations at a post office. Once if the district manager at that point decides to go to headquarters, they can give us a final determination to close. They could remand the decision back to us for more information of something they see in the record, or they can deem it unwarranted and the study stops. If they give us a final determination to close, that must be posted by law for 30 days at all affected offices again, in Auburn, Danville, and New Gloucester. During that 30-day phase, the community can then appeal the decision of headquarters to the PRC, the Postal Rate Commission. It's no longer dealing with the Postal Service, the district itself. You can appeal the decision to the PRC. With appeals, the PRC has 120 days from that final day of that final determination posting to render a decision. They can either affirm the post office decision or remand it back to headquarters, who will give us guidance as far as what happens next, whether it's deemed unwarranted or we have to research another form or alternative service. If there is no appeal, the earliest the office could close would be 60 days from that first day of posting, or 30 days from the final day of posting. At this present time, between Congress and Postal Headquarters, there's an agreement that nothing will close officially until May 15th of 2012. That's allowing Congress and the senior postal management at headquarters to still work on some legislation or some possible relief to the Postal Service. How that plays into all the studies, right now all we've been told and we're being instructed is we will continue forward with studies, but if it did come down to it and something was deemed able to be closed, nothing could happen until after May 15th. When we're looking at the proposal here, we're looking at the closing of the office as it's posted, and I wouldn't call it an extension, it's a we're basically creating rural delivery through the community in the areas that weren't being delivered prior. It does require, that is now the new free form of delivery. If we did that, then PO boxes would be at a cost unless the residence where the person resided is an area that we would deem unsafe for a carrier to go. Then a no fee box would still be available to that customer. The PO boxes themselves would be moved in the event of a closure to Auburn. Auburn being chosen as the administrative office, mainly due to the zip code that is out there for the 911 street, and that is where the mail flows through and the carrier is located. If the PO boxes were to move to Auburn, the customers would retain their same PO box number and city and zip, so the town zip. That's where basically the community identity would be retained. It's within that PO box movement. Any customers who had decided to go to PO street side delivery or roadside would have to change their address to that 911 coded address. And through research, it's found it's to be the Auburn town name and zip code. So that's where any change of address would affect the community. With that, I know there's probably a lot more questions and comments and concerns, and I want to open it up to everybody now. It's just if we can go one at a time, we'll try to get all your questions answered. Yes, sir.
I'm John Keaton, I'm on the hill here, and you can see I'm a National Guard. I'm not here at the National Guard Fest. I think I can speak for everybody here, and correct me if I'm wrong, speak up. Is anybody here in favor of the post office closing?
Okay.
Now, I'd like to ask you, you've done a bunch of metric studies on the volume of mail coming through, the income that the post office generates. I overheard a question asked earlier. Do you know how many people are serviced through this post office?
As far as PO boxes themselves, that's 61 at our last update. The question that was posed to me is how many were in the community itself. And the last number that I remember seeing was 150.
Okay. And can you share with me the numbers of what the profit or loss is by this post office?
From the last 4 years, we were looking at originally prior to December, we were only looking at 2008, or 2007 up to 2010. It's now gone 2008 to 2011 as we have that information available. 2008, it was 10,000, 10.7, I believe.
10.5.
10.5.
FY was 9,200. FY10 was 8,700, and FY11 was 7,900.
And that's a negative.
Well, that was the income that came into the post office.
So the income has increased, of course.
No, decreased.
Oh,
Decreased.
Decreased every year.
Okay, so it's been decreased.
I guess one of the things I could mention is that with each study there was 53 within the Northern New England District. And we looked at them based on some criteria out of headquarters. It was whether they had showed declining volume, declining workload, alternate access points that were available within a 10-mile radius. One of the things that Danville was identified as having was the declining workload. The first point of it's being looked at when it came out from headquarters is at 1.4 as a daily hourly workload. And that's looking at the factors that were involved in what the personnel there have to do. We back out any admin hours, which is the normal things that a postmaster do paper-wise, then it's your actual working, it's your actual selling of stamps, boxing, mailing. So Danville was looked at and chosen as being decreasing the workload, the declining of the revenue, and the alternate access points, having post offices on either side, one 3.5, one about 4.5 miles away.
Are you operating the Danville post office at a loss?
Yes. Most post offices are. That's not a bad thing. It's not. That's. I mean, that's a.
It seems to me, unfortunately, the rule. I understand the postal service is a business, albeit it's somewhat maybe perhaps subsidized by the federal government.
No.
No, it's not.
No.
We
Not
receive
subsidized
no
at
tax
all.
revenue. All of our operating income comes from the sale of
And I
postal
thought it was
services.
probably not a way.
No.
Well, it's strictly a business. So you've got these metrics which are incontrovertible. They are a matter of record. And so the next question is, what sort of things would weigh with the district decision makers as far as to keep this post office open beyond, we would all like it to remain open because it serves us, because all the things you see in the survey forms which I highly return. So what sort of things would weigh with the decision makers in your experience?
In mine, there's certain things that I'll really always see. I won't always see, but they're out there, and that is petitions. professionals, discussing,